work is about.
I have been working with past life related healing for about 15 years or so. It's kind of a long story how I got there, but I found out that through doing all that and helping others remember past lives, myself personally remembering past lives, I have healed away fears, illnesses. I personally had asthma for a really long time, and through remembering quite a few past lives, I healed that away, because when you remember a past lifetime, you bring up deep-rooted issues that have been part of your spiritual soul being for such a long time that then you're able to release those. And
don't necessarily know we're there.
Right, for sure. I mean, you might have inklings of a past life leak through in this current lifetime. If you love a particular place in the world, or if you love a time period or any of that kind of thing, it generally is a key sign that you actually had a lifetime in that country or in that time period. I've met a lot of people who have some really niche-y loves of things with no reasoning for it in this lifetime, and they clearly had a lifetime back then. Or if they've remembered a past lifetime, they have they said, oh my gosh, I always have loved this, that, or the other thing, and it's just been really kind of neat.
So how is that used when you talk about, is it regression, or how is it used to work with your past life?
Well, if you can remember a past life in many ways. Some people have a deja vu feeling when they're visiting a new city or country, or experiencing something, and that's one way of bringing that information forward. A lot of kids will have automatic or just come along into this world with the memories of that past life. They might have night terrors, or they might say, that person used to be my mother way back then. You know what I mean? Or I used to live on this street. I've heard all these stories. And so kids up until around this age of 8, from what I understand, they're open to relaying that information, especially if the parent's open to it or whomever's around them is open to it. Another way you can remember a past life is through dreaming. And so sometimes you might have a very vivid dream of something from a long time ago period in a place you've never been, and an experience you have no understanding on how that relates to your lifetime now. And that generally can be a past life remembrance. I've had people just in their waking moments all of a sudden get hit with that idea. Maybe they met somebody that was from a past life, because we do travel in soul groups together, and that remembrance on a subconscious level brought back that memory of that lifetime with them, good or bad. But how I help people remember a past life is I help them go into a guided meditation, or you could call it a regression state of mind or a hypnotic state of mind. It's really all focused concentration. That's really all it is, because you're allowing yourself to let go of everything around you, all your daily worries, the laundry that you need to do, the grocery shopping, and letting it all go, and just really relaxing and allowing your mind to focus on a past life memory.
I'm sorry. And how does this benefit someone? So why would someone want this information? How does it help?
Well, there's a lot of things that some people just cannot explain. I can give a ton of examples, but it's just like, we'll use a fear, for example. Okay, I'll just use my own personal experience because it's just easier. I had this weird thing about gas stoves. I wasn't afraid of them, but I actually chose apartments and houses that specifically had and said, that's the house for me, when I saw an electric stove. That was the decision. And I just always was like, oh, that's weird. Like, I grew up with a gas stove. Do you know what I mean? Why am I like avoiding them? And so I had actually remembered a past life where I was in a city over in Austria, as a little girl, and the entire neighborhood was being in a war situation, and the gas stove that was in the kitchen where I was at exploded and then caused the death of me. So that right then, after I remembered that lifetime, then I was like, that is such a connection. And what I live in now has a gas stove, and I don't worry about that anymore. It's just a silly little thing that I had in my life for a really long time, and I'm over it just from just remembering it. There's nothing, no drugs, no long, it was like an hour of my day, you know what I mean? And it's just released that silly little fear. Now, I've had other things like that have come through for people that are more intense, like fear of cats, or germophobia, or, gosh, there's so many. You know what I mean?
They don't necessarily know why they feel this way.
Exactly. There's no reason in this lifetime that they can explain it away, or from their childhood, or anything like that. And it just makes complete sense. And then the term for it in psychology is called catharsis. And so it's just that simple act of remembering it in a different way, where your subconscious and your conscious part of you are saying, oh, that's not so bad. You know what I mean? And so, and then you resolve that.
Oh, that's fascinating. So
Really,
how would someone begin that process? What would be the very, very first steps for them?
Well, there are a lot of books out there on the subject to help people feel comfortable remembering a past life. There's hundreds of them on Amazon. There are ways that you can remember them through, like self-hypnosis, a simple meditation. I know that some people have actually, through meditation itself, where you just quiet your mind and relax, and the intent, it's all about your intent. Your intent was, when you sat down to do the meditation, was to remember a past life, and then they had a vision come through for them. So it's really about asking too, because like you could ask before you go to sleep, just say out loud to whomever's listening, to whoever you pray to, can you please help me remember a past life, just for the experience, and see if you have a vivid dream that night. Maybe it takes a couple days till you're like, okay, I'm comfortable with this. I know a lot of people have, tried to do the meditation, including myself, for at least a month straight when I first started, before something came through. Right. So you have to be persistent. You have to get around your own fears and your own beliefs and all and limitations on them.
And there's nothing to be afraid of.
No, there's really not, because even if you remember how you might have died in a past life, like I explained earlier in the video, I'm still here. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so, and it's not like you're really gone. You're this beautiful spiritual being having these experiences to learn and to grow on a spiritual level each lifetime.
Right.
It's how we overcome obstacles. It's the people that we meet. I mean, it's really cool.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It explains relationships too. We didn't even talk about that.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
For sure.
Do you have any final thoughts on that?
I guess my final thought would be, it's a very surreal feeling process, very loving process if you're with the right person to help you remember these types of things. And you can also have someone give you a reading on that if you're not ready to take and step your foot into that side of it. There are psychics out there, including myself, who can provide you with some insight on what your past lives might have been, as maybe safer from your perspective way to give it a try. But it's all about your healing, really, and it's all about this lifetime now, is what the reason for all this is for.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. It's very interesting.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Thanks.